to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Kalle's just doing a turn on the stage.
Oh, I almost took the mic out of the hands. Excited.
That takes me back to, remember Groves Eubank? You did that thing on camera. Yeah, that one. Finally on. Troy Williamson, Josh Kelly.
Got a new one.
Is that Christopher Eubank Senior?
No, that's the Hoymin's son.
Let's not talk about Tottenham.
We haven't seen that in a while. Actually, let's not talk about football.
Well, not as fiery as I thought it would be, Kalle. What was your assessment of that press conference?
I wasn't expecting. I mean, there's been a lot of press conferences I've dealt with recently that have been very, very fiery. That was true grit between the two of them. I mean, it was respectful, but they're there to win. These are top level competitors. They know what's at stake, and like I said there, Josh for me. He's going to have a big night on December 2nd. He's going to have a big night for him, for himself and for his career.
Well, Team Williamson, specifically Sam Jones, thinks Josh is going to have a very good 3 rounds. But
I'm delighted. Sam's already given us 3 rounds, so, feels like a victory already. If he's given us 3 rounds, I'll take the multiplier on that. He's probably given us 36 rounds. We'll take that.
What were your thoughts on Josh's comments up there where he said that he was drinking bottles of whiskey the night before getting into the ring, and about his mentality? What were your thoughts on his comments?
Yeah, look, obviously, hard comments. I wasn't there at that stage. I could just take it for what, just hearing it now. I know he was in a tough space. I can just see it from, like I said, from the outside. Josh Kelly, at the time, was being built up as the next best thing since sliced bread. And I'm not even saying that he won't go on to be that, but it was at the speed, and it not even the promotion, the matchmaking was, and I'm not blaming the network either at the time, Sky. They did a fantastic job, but sometimes things happen too quick in the sport, especially if there is a vacuum to be filled. And it's a natural progression, and that can go too fast sometimes. And it went too fast for Josh. It's not anyone in particular's fault. It's just it was the media were writing him up. It was from the outside. I had nothing to do with it. From the outside, just watching it, the speed the rocket went up, and then just as scary was the speed the rocket was pulled down on a loss against a very tough guy, very early in his career. I think no one knew how tough he was at that stage. He's fighting now, I believe, Terence Crawford. But to write a guy off at that age and at that stage of a career is also mind-boggling after all the time that's gone in on him. And here we are. He's had a couple of good comeback fights this year. One tune-up and one tougher fight. And now he's straight back in, British title. And I said before, this is the title which really is the right to fight for your country, so to speak, on the world stage. So, delighted.
Why did he beat Troy Williamson on December 2nd?
Speed. I think mental toughness, accuracy, better variation, and just think he's just that bit too tough for Troy. I think Troy's a very, very good fighter, obviously, British champion. I think Josh goes beyond that zenith. He's that level, can push to that level beyond. That's what I believe.
Is there more pressure on Josh Kelly in this fight?
Well, I thought Josh answered that one quite well up there. Josh is still quite a young man. In theory, we only talk victory, but in theory, a loss would, for Williamson at his age, is not that he's old, but he's early 30s, 32. That's of course a much more damaging factor than it is for Josh. But we're not talking losses, draws. We're talking victory. December the 2nd is going to be Josh Kelly's night.
Okay. Not long to find out. Huge night for Channel 5 and Newcastle, and a massive occasion for not only North East boxing but British boxing. In terms of your other announcements, Kalle, you announced Harlem Eubank v Tom Farrell, a fantastic fight. Just talk to me about making that fight, please, Kalle.
Yeah, I think, you know, Harlem, so proud for Harlem to be headlining Channel 5. He's come on so strong as an athlete. People get behind him. He's an amazing character outside the ring. Anyone who's done any media with him or talked to him or been around him, he's just a fantastic human, but an amazing fighter. Obviously fighting with that very famous Eubank name, and he's boxed his way out of shadows of that name already, I feel, But headlining for the first time is a big step. Tom Farrell. Tough domestic fight, and it could be a great card as well. We got Chloe Watson on there, Liam Williams can be fighting on that card as well, in a very good fight actually. So it's going to be a great night at the York Hall, and actually we're planning the night that we get 2 parts of boxing, and we're going to get the football in between as well. So it's going to be a bit of a football boxing football. Boxing evening.
Bonanza.
Great night, rainy November night in the York Hall, great atmosphere.
Sauerland's going to be running about East London, so it will be a great night.
Absolutely. Let loose on town that night.
And a final announcement to talk about on the Matchroom DAZN bill. Fabio Wardley v Nathan Gorman for the vacant British heavyweight title. Fantastic fight. Fully backing Nathan to get the job done that night, Kalle?
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually had the date or the fight sorted a while ago. We had to work out the scheduling things together with Matchroom and DAZN, and what a storyline for Nathan. He's had such a tough time in his career up to now. The talent is phenomenal. The boxing family, the Gormans, amazing history of boxing, generations and generations. And, it comes up against Fabio Wardley, also very good prospect. But I just think that boxing IQ of Nathan Gorman, pedigree, is just going to be the telling factor there. And looking forward to having a British heavyweight champion in the house.
Well, depending on these fights with the likes
it's the same weekend, by the way. So we're going Friday night, Harlem Eubank at the York Hall, and Saturday night with Nathan Gorman. And the week before we're in the States with Misfits. We've got 3 nights in 7 days. It'll be quite interesting.
Well, depending on these fights with Josh Kelly, Nathan Gorman, Harlem Eubank, should they be victorious in your case, when you hope they are victorious, that builds up a massive year for Channel 5 in 2023.
Yeah, it's huge for Channel 5. It's huge for Wasserman Boxing, and 1 or 2 cheeky signings in the pipeline as well before the end of the year. Say no more. No, it's good. I mean, we're delighted also to have Lyndon Arthur on board. I believe he will go on to very great things at the light heavyweights. Got very interesting developments around him as well, which will be in the next couple of weeks. Just couldn't be happier with where it's going. If we look, we launched our UK operation a year and 5 months ago, and here we're standing with so many great fights around the UK scene. We're delighted.
A couple of things before I let you go, please, Kalle. Your thoughts on the announcement for Tyson Fury v Derek Chisora 3 at your beloved Tottenham Hotspur?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they let Frank rent the place. I thought he should have stuck to the Emirates. But no, good luck to him. I can understand the people who are the naysayers who don't like the fight, who've seen it twice before. I'd say in defence, Derek Chisora's a different boxer than he was back then. I mean, we promoted the first Pulev fight. We had Derek under our charge for quite a few years. But he wasn't fully there in terms of, he wasn't dedicated to the sport, I'd be in nightclubs and Derek would rock up next to me, on a Saturday night. He'd be out on town, and I've got to say a lot of credit to David Hay. When they linked up, he surprised me. I can't remember what was the first fight, but he really shocked me at the way he looked in the fight and the way he approached it. It was clear that he suddenly really started taking it seriously. So you see the second fight with Pulev, which I was really happy for Del that he's had a lot of close fights and he got one eventually, that close fight that he won. But I do think that it's a very different Derek than at that time. Tyson was fighting. So
is the criticism justified?
You got to look at what the options were, and there I can understand what they're if he wants to get out, if your man wants to get out, it's a tough place for what they were looking at, and Derek will, he's not going to come to roll over. Yeah, so and I'm a big fan of Tyson Fury, and I like Derek very much as well. It'll be a difficult one for me to watch, but hey. I'll be watching.
Last one, any discussions with Chris Eubank Jr. about what's next potentially or not yet? Yeah,
we're meeting this week and say an announcement very, very shortly on certain things. There's a lot of things obviously ongoing in the background with other parties. We wait to hear, as I guess everyone else waits to hear, but like I said before, we're already on our plan Bs and Cs and Ds. Without saying too much about obviously what the plan A is. The plan A, of course, when we rescheduled, we said we would look at the ongoing situation, which we're doing. But at the same time, we're not going to be held up.
KALLE SAUERLAND, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, even though it sounds like Germany got the better of you by your voice.
Yeah, no, I think the last 3 weeks, it's been 3 weeks on the spin. So yeah, and Saturday night I was shouting a lot, so it's still got me a little bit, but all part of the job, and straight into another press conference, and got a lot of big fight weeks coming up, so I'll get my voice back.
Thank you, mate.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from BENN. This has been like a therapy session.